Welcome back to Skills. I'm Shannon Penrod, and we're webcasting to you live from the Center for Autism and Related Disorders. We've solved some of our Skype issues, so we have a mom, blogger, parent on the phone with us, Shannon. I'm Shannon, and she's Shannon. There you are. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for being with us today. And you are a writer on Thinking Person's Guide to Autism, correct?
Yes.
And what is the site, if people want to be looking at this blog, that they can go to? What's the URL?
It's www.thinkingautismguide.com. And it's both a book and a blog. We just had a book released in December.
Fabulous. And where can people buy the book?
They can buy it on Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com.
Wonderful. And you guys have a really, I'm on your site right now looking at it. You've got a gorgeous picture of a young lady, and you're doing a really interesting series right now. Tell us a little bit about Slice of Life.
Sure. Well, what we're doing for autism, we're celebrating April as Autism Acceptance Month because we think that acceptance is really critical. And so what we'd like people to do is to get to know people with autism, and that they're just as diverse a population as anybody else who has a label, right?
Absolutely.
So we are profiling autistic people of all ages and all interests and all abilities on the site for the entire month of April. We'll have a different person every day.
Awesome. And right now, you have, is her name Aisling?
Aisling, yeah.
Aisling Alley. And she is beautiful. I love her necklace. That is absolutely beautiful.
If you look at it, she talks about how much she loves the video game figure Kirby, and there's actually Kirby is on her necklace if you look really close.
I was just going to say that's exactly what it looks like, because my son plays that from time to time. That's awesome. So a wonderful opportunity. And did you say a different person every day?
A different person every day of all ages and all abilities.
That's absolutely wonderful. Very uplifting. And how long have you guys been doing this blog?
We started the blog in June of 2010, and we did it because we didn't really feel that there was any kind of one-stop guide for getting really great, supportive, and really well-informed information about autism, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of pseudoscience out there, and there's a lot of negativity out there. And we don't ever... we don't downplay the reality of living with autism, and neither would any of the autistics who contribute to our site. But what we do is we focus on the strengths of autistic people. We focus on the best practices for supporting kids and people with autism, and we just we have built a wonderful community of parents and professionals and autistics, and we all get together on the blog and on Facebook, and we support and help each other.
That's wonderful. And you are a mom of somebody on the spectrum, is that correct?
Yes, my son Leo is 11.
Okay. And so today, what kinds of things are you and Leo going to be doing to work towards acceptance for autism?
Well, Leo and I are all over the internet. We're on, today we're on parents.com talking about
cool.
The internet has really helped us in general, forming community and also connecting with people and getting great information, and talking about iPads and how they've really, really made a difference in Leo's learning and in his ability to play independently.
Awesome.
We don't stay home. I guess that's probably kind of our family mantra. The tolerance of Leo's ability to be out, we don't force him to do anything that he's really uncomfortable with, because we don't want to, we don't want him to melt down. But what we do is we help him go out into the communities, to events, to parks, to amusement parks, to the beach, to markets, to restaurants. And he gets used to being part of the community, and the community gets part of him, because, we're all part of society. And we really feel, not just me personally, but at Thinking Person's Guide, that acceptance of people with autism is really paramount to autism awareness in general.
Well, Shannon, your story is really inspirational, and I think one of the things we've been talking about today is that there are good days and there are bad days when you got a kid on the spectrum, but any day that you can be doing something that helps somebody else, it tends to be better. Do you agree?
Sure. I mean, that's one of the reasons that we started the Thinking Person's Guide book and blog, is because we didn't want any other person with a new autism diagnosis or with a child with a new autism diagnosis to go through this really long period where we were just kind of flailing and trying to find information and trying to find connections. We wanted a book and a site that we could just hand to people and say, here you go. Here are the 10 things you need to do after an autism diagnosis. Here's how you talk to people who ask about your child with special needs. Here is here is a point-by-point primer for evaluating autism information and providers critically. Here's what a behaviorist can do for you.
Yeah.
Here is how you choose a school for a child on the autism spectrum. Here's why it's so important not to underestimate people who can't speak. Here's why it's so it's important when people have an autism diagnosis, but they can speak, to make sure that you're still accommodating them.
Absolutely. Well, Shannon, your story is great. We so appreciate that you dropped in. I know it's a busy day for you, but we so appreciate that you dropped in with us to share a moment on this day. Again, so the book is also A Thinking Person's Guide to Autism. Is that correct?
Yes, Thinking Person's Guide to Autism, and it's available on Amazon and bn.com.
And if they want to read these slice of life on a daily basis, it's thinkingautismguide.com.
That's true, and we're also on Twitter at Thinking Autism, and we're on Facebook as well if you go to Thinking Person's Guide to Autism on Facebook.
Fabulous. Well, we'll have to have you back on the show when you've got more time and we've got more time. And I know we're going to be speaking to somebody else from your site as well in just a few minutes, but thank you so much, and give our best to Leo.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, you too.
Bye-bye. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and then we're going to come back and talk to Jennifer from Thinking Person's Guide to Autism. And again, you can go to their site, thinkingautismguide.com. Back in just a minute. Welcome back to Skills Live. I'm Shannon Penrod. We're webcasting live from the Center for Autism and Related Disorders headquarters in Tarzana, California. Today is World Autism Awareness Day. I don't know about you, but it's a very emotional day for me. I've already boo-hooed several times today. And not necessarily bad boo-hoo, just that, emotional cleansing the hormones kind of boo-hoo. But we just were speaking with Shannon from A Thinking Person's Guide to Autism, and now we have Jennifer from A Thinking Person's Guide to Autism. Jennifer, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good morning. It's so great to have you guys here with us. We were just speaking with your colleague, Shannon, and hearing about this wonderful site that I have to be honest, I had not known about before today, but it's an amazing site, and she was telling that there's a book as well.
Yes, there is. We came out in December with the book, and it's an amazing book. It's the book that we wish we'd had when our kids were diagnosed so many years ago. My son is 11 and a half, Jack, and I also have a daughter named Katie. And when Jack was first diagnosed when he was about 3, I just went to the internet, and there were so many things that were not based in science, or they were based in fear, basically. And there wasn't a lot of good information or where to head or where to go next. And I think that this book offers parents just a brief introduction to so many of the topics that were of interest to me, especially when I was first introduced to the world of autism.
Well, I think it's a wonderful service. I think the book sounds fabulous. And again, we can get that on Amazon, and
Yes.
and where else can we get it?
Amazon, it's on Barnes & Noble. We have it on. Here's a picture of it. It's very pretty.
There you go. It is pretty. I like it.
It's also on Kindle now, which is great. And
that is
It's a
great.
little bit cheaper on Kindle if that's something that you want to have on your train trip to work.
Yes, I have discovered that I can Kindle on my phone,
Ooh.
and it is a very happy thing for
Yes.
me.
One of the things that's great about the book is because most of the essays are shorter, you really can read an entire idea and then move on to something else, but you can read it in snippets. In fact, that's probably how I would recommend reading it, is not all at once, because there's a lot of information.
Absolutely.
Little pieces at a time.
Wonderful. What a wonderful service. And then you have the companion piece, the blog that you guys do.
Yes.
And again, that's Thinking Person's Guide to Autism, but they can get to it. The URL is thinkingautismguide.com.
Correct.
Okay, and I'm on there right now, and I was talking with Shannon. You guys have this wonderful slice of life that's happening. How many of you are actually writing this? Is it you and Shannon and a group of other people, or is it just you and Shannon?
We have a group of 5 original editors, and then we have 5 new affiliate editors. And most of the time, we are finding information from our community, and then we kind of clean it up a little bit, and then we post it. So while it may be posted under our name, quite often the writing is actually by someone that we have found who's a professional or an expert or an adult with autism, or in this case, this is a child who has autism, and sharing information from their point of view.
Wonderful. And how did this come about? How did you and Shannon get together and start doing this?
Well, Shannon and I met. We live in the same city, and she actually overheard me talking in a cafe that I had a child with autism, and she unplugged her little earbud from her iPod and said, "What? Why don't I know you?" Okay, friends, and we started one of the first special ed PTAs in the country, along with 4 or 5 other women in our city. So we have a district-wide special education PTA, and through that, we discovered we were both writers, and we put together another project that's similar to this book called Can I Sit With You? And that was those stories of the traumatic experiences on the playground that we think we will never get over and that no one else ever went through. So we put together a couple of books like that. And then in June of 2010, has it been that long now? I think it has. There were a lot of books coming out that were not on autism, that were not science-based, that were definitely based on fear, that we're trying to offer people hope by attaching them to things that were not necessarily based in science. And I think it's very sad because, of course, we all want to have great expectations for our children, but we should do that based on good information.
Absolutely.
And
well, you're singing my song. You're my kind of gals.
Yeah, so we started Thinking Person's Guide to Autism. We started as a blog, and then we collected the best information we could from adult autistics, parents of children with autism, and the professionals that serve the community. And that's not very common to have all 3 of those people, those groups in one place. And that's what's so great is that we've been able to really learn from each other. And I think each of the communities has grown tremendously since we started the project.
Well, you're amazing moms, and your kids are lucky to have you. Are you guys doing anything special today to commemorate World Autism Awareness Day?
Well, we try and get out there in the community, and I think for us, it's about acceptance. We're very aware of autism, and so we hope to keep our family active and be a part of our community so that people can know that Jack is an equal partner in this community. So probably we'll end up going out to dinner because it's going to be a long day.
Yes. Well, truly, you guys are an inspiration, and I hope that some of the moms and dads who are at home watching and realizing, what a wonderful thing that came about from overhearing a conversation in a coffee shop.
Yes.
And I'm sure that you guys have supported each other through some amazing things on this journey through autism.
It's really great, and I feel really lucky now that I've met so many adults with autism that I had not met prior to this project, because I think we often divide things into children and adults, and really autism is something that is lifelong. And so I can now see what I can look forward to with my child. And I don't think that a lot of parents with younger children think all the way through that this is their child who's going to become an adult someday. So I like that I've met some amazing people who can help me see those transitions.
That's
and
wonderful.
then also see where we can better serve and be better advocates for people as they transition into adulthood.
Absolutely. It's a concern for all of us. It should be, at least. Well, absolutely wonderful. Again, the book is A Thinking Person's Guide to Autism. You can get it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, and now on Kindle. That's wonderful. And in the meantime, definitely check out the blog, thinkingautismguide.com. I congratulate you, ladies. We'll have to have you back on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye for now.